Cats are one of the most beautiful pets anyone could ever have. So when one family found one they wanted to adopt, they thought it looked different. Little did they know, everything they loved about this cat would be gone in a flash. Most parents would do almost anything to give their children what they want. As for 18-year-old Dasha, she had always wanted to own a cat. So one day her mom fulfilled her wish. The duo visited a local man who was putting up a few kittens for adoption. But when they got there, both Dasha and her mother were attracted to two cats who looked very different from each other. While Dasha preferred the cat she thought looked really cute, her mother's attention was drawn to one scraggly-looking cat, covered in patches of different colors of fur. Eventually, after much back and forth, Sasha's mom settled for the straggly cat. While she thought she had made the best choice, she could have never guessed what was coming the cat's way as the animal grew. When they got home, the cat was named Semina, and like every other cat, she was super friendly, cute, and active. Even though her unkempt appearance made her look like she had trekked through the wilderness, her family loved her regardless. They thought her unusual appearance only made her more unique. But soon, they would learn the hidden reason she was even that way. As Semina aged, something very unexpected happened. Her hair began falling out. And no, not like that type that falls off after a good brushing, but it fell out in clumps. The family had seen nothing like that, so they looked into it immediately. They took the kitten to the vet, but he couldn't find anything wrong with the cat. So they took her home, hoping her hair would stop falling off soon. But that never happened, and the kitten continued to shed more hair. In fact, the cat's drastic physical change stunned visitors who came. How could she quickly go from being so hairy to something, well, not so attractive, they thought. Some even tagged the cat ugly. But perhaps if they knew the cat's true nature, they would have never thought so ill of her. And soon, they would all learn a shocking truth. Well, over the years, Semina continued to lose the hair on her skin, until her fur only protruded in bunches from her underbelly, while the rest of her coat was pretty much bald. Despite all these, the family didn't flinch and even loved the kitten even more. Between all these, there was also something very fascinating about the animal. Despite her physical changes, her attitude didn't change at all. She still behaved, played, and acted like other cats. She continued this way, and soon the family accepted their fate. They thought they would never learn the reason why the beloved pet suddenly started losing hair. But just then, a shocking truth surfaced. The family finally learned that Semina had been mixed with another breed of cat, a Sphinx. This breed is known for its lack of fur, which explains why this cat also started losing hers. So you see, nothing was really wrong with this animal. After this shocking discovery, the bond between Semina and her family became even stronger. But amongst all the family members, she formed a special bond with Dasha. Although Semina is a sweet cat, caring for her comes with a lot of hard work too. For instance, Dasha and her mom have to clean the cat twice daily and also wipe the gunk in her eyes. Because of her unkempt appearance, people called her many names, and some even said she was something from a nightmare. Yet the family continued to love their quirky, strange cat. They loved everything about her, both the beautiful and the ugly. This cat also taught them something special. They wanted the world to know that even if their cat wasn't the most good-looking out there, she still wasn't some kind of horror. It doesn't matter what your cat looks like. You should love her like she's the most beautiful on the planet, Dasha said. Of course, while Dasha would most likely not boast about having the best-looking cat out there, she can brag about having a unique one who loves to play and cuddle till the end of forever. You see, since Semina isn't a pure Sphinx, she might look a little out of place. However, purebred Sphinx cats are highly sought after, and so, because of their high demand, you may literally need to break a bank to get them. So it's no surprise that when two Canadian women, Shayla Bastarsh and Joanne Dyke, found what they thought was the perfect Sphinx cat for half the usual price, they jumped on the offer. Soon they would realize a very costly mistake and learn a big lesson. Before buying a pet, it's important to do some necessary research. For instance, check the cat's history. If you are going to get your pet from a breeder, then check if they are licensed and follow the regulatory practice. Well, these women did none of these, so a very disheartening shock awaited them. Sphinx cats are very exciting. They are more extroverted and energetic than regular cats. More facts about them that you will love. They have extraordinary intelligence, increased curiosity, and more affection for their owners. Now you understand why these women couldn't even wait to get one. But they should have been a little vigilant. Perhaps that could have prevented the catastrophe ahead. Because of the designer aspect of these cats, Most times, those looking to purchase them have to go through a breeder, and they would usually cost $1,000 and above. So these women, separately, began searching their area for a Sphinx breeder. However, finding one proved much more difficult than they had expected, and just like it is in human nature, they decided to opt for a faster and easier way out. So they looked elsewhere. Eventually, the women stumbled upon a website, Kijiji.com. If you would ask me, I think the name even sounds weird, but these women didn't suspect any foul play. Besides, they found something very attractive on the website. The price for the Sphinx was half the amount they had budgeted for. It was such a great offer, so they couldn't resist. The women then got in contact with the website owner. Afterwards, they arranged a date to complete the whole purchase process. Some days later, separately, they met the owner of the cat in a parking lot, and after paying in cash, they got their pet. It was more than a beautiful feeling to hold their cat after such a great ordeal to find a breeder. And just like the woman wanted, the kitten felt so smooth and fluffy. But that day, as they journeyed back to their homes with the cat in their hands, they missed a very crucial detail. If only they'd seen it right there at the park. When the women got home, they started snuggling up with their new animal friend, and that was when their eyes suddenly caught something weird. On the cat's bodies, there were some bumps and cuts. Even though these women noticed this, they made another huge mistake. They didn't pay any attention to the bumps. They were so caught up in the moment and just wanted to kiss and hug the cat. But soon, they would learn something really upsetting. 2 weeks later, the cuts and bumps on the cat's bodies became even more glaring. This time around, the women decided to look into it. You won't believe what they found. They took the cat to the vet, and he told them something they never wanted to hear. Turns out, the kitten seller had removed the cat's hair with a razor and hair removal products, and that led to the bumps and cuts on its body. The women left the vet's place with so many questions on their minds, and what they learned some weeks later finally cleared all the doubts they had in mind. A surprising transformation happened. The cat started growing hair on its skin. Real Sphinx breeds do not grow any hair at all. So the women realized what the cat vendor had truly sold to them. Turns out, the online breeder was a scammer, and had purposely shaved off these cats' hair so it could look like a hairless cat. But despite the circumstances of these cats' purchase, both women still loved them unconditionally. Although they had wanted a Sphinx, these were equally loving and sweet too, and the women were doing their best to provide them with a convenient home. But that's not the only good news. These cats also suffered no permanent damage from having all the hair removed. In time, they grew back all their fur, and are absolutely the cutest kittens on earth. Shayla and Joanne also hope that someone would learn from their story. They are now raising awareness about the dangers of purchasing animals from unverifiable breeders. Have you ever had a Sphinx? How would you describe your relationship with them?